you can't call up 1-800-Microsoft, but you can post on these support forums with all the other users and get answers really quickly. And the developer community is constantly expanding the system, both from within WordPress and additions to WordPress, as well as plugins for WordPress, which are the technology you put in there. Chances are any technical need you have for your website has been addressed in WordPress. It's also extremely SEO friendly, particularly with a couple of, or one or two SEO plugins, which are technical enhancements. It's very friendly with the search engines. It has built-in syndication. If you've heard of RSS, these are ways of pushing your content out to other systems. That's all built into WordPress because of its background as a blogging platform. And one of my favorite things is when you edit your content, you can do so either in raw HTML, which is the raw language of the website, or a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. So you can have an editor that if you make this word bold, it makes it bold on the page. So if you don't have that web programming background, you can do it. If you can work in Microsoft Word, you can work in this editor. Some disadvantages. The themes, which is the system that controls the look and feel of the site, many times they can look very similar. If you've been working with WordPress a lot, you'll start to be able to pick out WordPress sites because there are some definite similarities. There is no direct support for WordPress software because there's no WordPress company per se, but it's only for other users. There have also been some security issues. There have been some security vulnerabilities that have been exposed. Robert Scoble got hacked about 1.5 years ago on his WordPress installation, actually. They use MySQL and PHP. It uses MySQL and PHP, which has some security problems of its own. It's probably slightly more likely to be hacked than a site with static HTML pages. But I would say it's really not much more vulnerable than most other content management systems. If you keep your version of WordPress current, which if you use one of the plugins I'm going to recommend here in a second, it does that very easily. If you keep your version of WordPress current, your risk of getting hacked is relatively small. It's also not a full-featured CMS. That's fine for most of us out there. Very complex sites may have some trouble. I don't really recommend WordPress if you're an e-commerce site with a ton of different products. If you've got 3,000 products, WordPress is going to be hard to use for managing that product list. Also, really active, high-end forums. WordPress is not a good solution out there, but there are some wonderful PHP solutions for forums out there that you can integrate in with a WordPress website very easily. It's also not as customizable as systems such as Drupal, but most of it probably couldn't even be done in Drupal without hiring a coder. It's a application development environment almost. It's a much more complex programming language. All right. Let's look at some definitions. And I'm going to have some screenshots here in a second we'll look at. The dashboard is the first thing you see when you log into WordPress through the control management system. And it gives you kind of an overview of your site. Pages versus posts. Let's remember, this system, its history is in blogging. So it is a system for blog posts. It also has a system for web pages. If you are using this WordPress for your website, you probably need to use pages, not posts. One of the disadvantages is the management system for each virtually looks identical. It's really easy when you're putting in content to put it into the post section when you meant to put it in a page. So just pay attention to what you're doing.